All right, we're on. This is the very first episode in a while. This is Joshua and Phoebe Yell About Movies. We decided to do something crazy today to look at trailers for the Best Picture and several other films and talk about them. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, I actually am. This is actually really...
How could you not be?
How could I not be?
This is our first Oscar show.
Exactly. Yeah. How could I not be mystery person I haven't introduced yet? Anyway, yes, guys, we do have a guest today. He's a legendary performer, a man of mystery, a raconteur of sorts. He is here with us in Manhattan tonight, recording live. DB Frick, come on down.
I made it. I'm here.
Thank you.
It came all the way down for this, and I'm looking forward to talking about movie previews.
That's right. Whatever preview we do next in the future for a trailer, we will watch right after we hit pause.
We just watched one.
We did, and I am stopping this right now.
Wait a minute. We didn't just watch the trailers, though. We watched a lot of these movies.
That's right. We did watch a lot.
I watched a lot of these movies, too.
We've watched a lot of these movies, and to make up for the ones we haven't seen, we're going to watch these trailers live and give you our instant reactions
we're
on
about
the spot.
To crank out so many of the movies that we never made shows about right now.
Exactly. We're going to make time.
So now you're going to record while we watch it? Okay.
Let's do that.
Whatever you want.
Let's do it.
They yell about directors, yell about the plot, yell about the acting, but they also talk a lot. But mostly Joshua and Phoebe yell about the movies.
First up, guys, we just watched the trailer for Belfast. Phoebe, I heard a reaction from you about the movie Belfast for the trailer. You said,
why don't I want to see this movie?
Why don't you want to see this movie?
I don't know, and I'm Irish.
Yeah, I think we've seen so many movies about the Irish. Maybe because it's black and white, and we need color.
Oh gosh, I'm really embarrassed to admit that. I mean, I went to film school.
Yeah, that's right. Which is like going to school in black and white.
Yeah, did you have? Much like film school, you dealt with potato famine, right?
No, that's all we had were potatoes. Actually, it was.
Yeah. Well, that's how you get over your ego and how you become a successful film student.
Potatoes?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Potatoes.
Just ramen.
Potatoes.
I think ramen.
As an anecdote, I used to intern over at Sony, the Sony building for Sony Pictures many years ago, and the best thing about it was on Tuesdays they had a baked potato bar, and it was like the greatest potato thing you've ever seen in your life. Baked potatoes au gratin, potatoes of all kinds. It was my favorite thing. I would not miss Tuesdays.
Wow. Okay.
That's my anecdote.
Thank you. We're going to be cranking these out today.
Yeah. If we keep on talking like this.
Did the song get you moving? Did
the music from the Belfast trailer?
Yeah.
I felt like the whole time they were telling me, this is a feeling movie. I felt manipulated.
It's a very important movie. I love you. I love you.
I felt like I was watching that movie. It was a Nazi movie a couple of years ago, Jojo.
Loved it.
It was a great movie. Yeah, Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
And it was really good, but that's what I saw this, and I kind of feel like I'm watching that.
You got JoJo vibes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it had tanks, it had dancing, it had a little boy whose name was Tommy, and he wasn't going to get made fun of because he's Irish. You know, it had all that.
You're not going to make fun of me! I'm going to get you with this shillelagh here.
You know, as an Irish American woman, I'm really offended.
You should be, but shillelaghs are a real thing.
Yes.
An Irishman hitting their child with a shillelagh was family.
Yeah.
It was family.
Not to mention, it's the base weapon in Dungeons and Dragons. You get +1 Paco.
We were beaten mercilessly. It was just the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, Belfast.
Even the nuns beat me. Anyway, yeah. So maybe that's why I can't watch Belfast.
Let's do a special about that.
These are about the black Protestants in the North.
The North. You know what I did have? That's true. But the problem with that, I will need subtitles for that movie. I will need subtitles for Belfast.
You mean because of the accents?
Yes,
really?
because of the accents.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah. Even if they even make fun of it in the preview. At one point, he's like, if someone doesn't understand you, they're not listening.
Right.
There you go.
Clearly, but we love Kenneth Branagh.
We do. I love Kenneth Branagh.
Okay.
I think I found him to be a good actor and director. But Judi Dench is in it.
She is.
And she's nominated for an Oscar.
Yes.
And so is the other guy that was acting alongside her in the scene. I forgot his name.
And Kenneth Branagh is nominated for Best Director for this film as well.
Which he's been nominated before.
Which he's clearly telling us through this trailer that's what he wants.
Oh, yeah, no, he wants... But he was also in something recently, too. He was...
He's working. I'm very happy for him.
Maybe it was Dunkirk. I just saw Dunkirk. That's a few years old.
I'm very happy for him. So maybe I'll see that.
Dunkirk. It's like a heart attack in motion.
Yeah, it was a very strong, difficult movie to watch.
How about
All of
Dune?
these movies are. Dune?
How about Dune? That's another one that's winning Best Picture.
That's one... I mean, I saw the old one. It might win Best Picture, but it's so stark. It's just the desert. It's like...
It was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. And for some reason, when I was watching it, I was thinking of Star Trek II when I was a kid. That scene where the worm crawls out of the guy's ear because of the giant worm from Dune.
Yeah.
Maybe the miniature worm from Star Trek II that crawls out of Chekhov's ear is Harkinson's back to Dune, perhaps.
When did the original Dune come out?
1984, 85.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I was like 5 years old when Dune came. I'm born in 79, so you can do the math. But I was
We don't do math on this show.
No.
I can't.
No age math.
No. Okay, I lost my place. I'm sorry. I'm ruining
We're talking about math.
Dune.
Okay, we're talking about Dune. So Dune was something I saw as a very young child. And I'll tell you, that was a disturbing movie. And it is ingrained in my memory. In comparison, I think that this Dune is like a work of art. I think it's beautiful. I love Timothée Chalamet. I can't help it. I think he's incredible in everything that he does. I thought the worms were really good. I'm not saying that it's Best Picture, but I thought it was pretty mind-blowing.
It was mind-blowing. It's going to win a ton of awards, but not Best Picture. Okay, Coda.
Now that looks like a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
It does. All the themes of family remind me of how much I would be loving this film with my dad right now if he was still alive.
That's nice.
Yeah. Just a great film. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture, though, mostly because it doesn't have any famous actors in it. What do you guys think about that?
Interesting.
It doesn't. It's Marlene is the only star of it, I guess. Is the only big star. And she's not even all that big of a star. She's not people know her, but I don't think it has any box office draw like that. It looks really strong, though. The preview is similar. Like there's so many previews that are like that. There's a very similar...
A problem, in this case, a deaf girl, a deaf family. She wants to sing. She wants to get out of here. Kind of reminds me of October Sky, where he was trying to make a rocket to get out of his small town, and she was like, "You can't hold me down," except she can't talk because she's deaf. But yeah, just escaping from helping her family. At one point, she says to her dad or mom, "I can't stay with you forever."
Right, and the issue is that they need someone on the boat who can hear, and she's the only one who can hear. And she doesn't want to be there anymore, so they can't have the fishing. They're going to have to find someone else to do it. That's the answer.
That's guilt.
Because there aren't any blockbuster stars in this, then it puts all the onus on the story and the script and the direction. So this has the potential, just based on the trailer alone, to be a real authentic piece of art.
Yeah, they're all deaf. Everyone but the girl, they're really deaf.
I mean, just by the trailer alone, I learned a perspective of what it must be like to be raised by deaf parents.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pick up on the part that it was the boat.
It was quick.
That they worked on the boat, but but that's an important part. I thought it was just because they didn't have anything to offer her. Like, how could they support her if they can't hear her? But there's an even higher stake involved, that it's their livelihood, too.
But yeah, when they're sitting in the auditorium just looking at everyone else enjoying the music, they'll never be able to enjoy what she's good at.
No.
So that's got to be...
So that...
Right, which
Wretched.
is kind of reminds me how my parents didn't really understand or appreciate my writing for the last 5 years.
Only the last 5 years? They appreciated it before that?
No, well, before then they didn't understand or appreciate the other things I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you appreciate what you're doing, that's what really matters.
Well, listen, I did, and they smiled and tried to understand, which is an A for effort.
Sure.
And which is what apparently that family tried to do in this film, too. Like, they couldn't hear anything in her recital, and she couldn't hear it either, which I don't understand why you'd want to sing as a deaf girl, but...
she's not deaf.
She's not deaf.
Oh, wow.
You're going to have to take this whole
Really? You
out.
thought that she was deaf and could talk? Which is possible.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, wow, what incredible talent. She's singing even though she's deaf. How can she modulate her voice? I mean, this is a profound thing
It
we're
is
watching.
amazing how different people can get out of watching the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, between the three of us,
Yeah.
we saw it.
Okay. Listen, there you go. That's the whole experience of the film. That's Coda.
It's obvious. It's a sequel to Follow That Bird, really.
There you go. The Sesame Street classic.
Yeah.
Yes. AKA my favorite film of '87.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great movie.
Yeah.
Did they ever find Big Bird?
Yes. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. But he died.
Wow.
Recently.
Wow. Way to bring it.
What?
The guy who played Big Bird died.
He didn't die recently. He died.
Yeah, that was Albert
2
Finney.
years ago.
Yeah, Albert Finney. You said.
Thought maybe two. Not Albert Finney. Albert Finney was an actor.
I thought the original Big Bird died of AIDS like 10 years into... Yeah.
No, it was always a very old guy. Same guy played Big Bird. I think there is something that sounds familiar in that within another puppet. I'm not sure, but Big Bird was this old guy.
Oh, it was Carol Spinney, not Albert Finney.
Right, Carol Spinney, and they just did a documentary about him.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
He's a
right.
tall guy.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
want to see it.
Way to bring a coda to this review of the movie Coda.
Indeed.
Well, was it that in Coda in this situation means child of deaf adult,
Mm-hmm.
but Coda
The
also
musical signature is what?
it signifies the end of something.
The end of something, right?
And when Francis Ford Coppola reissued The Godfather recently, The Godfather 3, he renamed it The Coda of Michael Corleone. So it means a different thing there, too.
Yeah. Sure does. Okay, well, next up, coincidentally, we're talking about Don't Look Up. Phoebe, we watched Don't Look Up together.
Oh, unfortunately.
It was. She did hate it. I think because it was all too real and way too scary. I mean, like real life is scary enough. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, this wasn't a pompous, critical, oh, what a piece of dreck response. This was too soon.
Too soon. And just to recap for folks at home, in case you haven't seen Don't Look Up, it's about a meteor, I think, or something crashing to Earth. Some scientists discover it and try to convince the president, who's played by a female, I can't remember, but a famous actress. And she tries to play... Meryl Streep, there you go.
I think it's some of the best satire in recent history.
Yeah, and they turn it into a political football, and they try to spin it and try to pretend it... Right, the Don't Look Up being a shorthand for the conservative movement or the liberal movement, depending on which way you look at it.
Sure, you could look at it.
Right.
I mean, gosh, after we saw that movie, the nuclear threats started. I don't need this kind of extra stress on my television.
And there really was an asteroid that was passing Earth at the time of the movie coming out.
No.
Like a big one that was very popular, and they didn't think it was going to hit Earth, but who knows? Maybe someone did.
Maybe, but hopefully not. So Don't Look Up. Satire was too much for you, but we didn't turn it off. We watched all the way to the end. Did you like anything about it?
I hated the end. I did not like the end where they're on the other planet and the dinosaur kills Meryl Streep.
Even though that was a callback to the Jeff Bezos guy. It was like, I discovered a way to figure out...
You could tell the future,
yeah. Belfast again. Right, you could tell the future. His machine could tell you how you're going to die. And it was like, it's something called a quark or whatever name he made up. And then later it turned out it was some alien in the future that ate the guy when they crash landed on a different planet or whatever. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was you hated that, but I hated the real ending where the asteroid destroyed the Earth, and I was like, what? We don't deserve this after this election, after this pandemic, and this century. We don't deserve that.
I think one of the most interesting things that Elon Musk has brought up, that I've seen him talk about, are this idea that space is infinite, things go, like, there must be other civilizations. And he talks about how through the billions and trillions of years, how many other civilizations were trying to get off their planet and never were able to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Joe Rogan, eat your heart out. We're really giving you some premium content here. Okay. So don't look up. Phoebe, is this going to win any awards?
I hope not.
Okay.
Maybe a best writing for McKay, but
Well, you
maybe
mean screenplay?
Screenplay, yeah.
Best adapted screenplay. Adam McKay,
No,
by the way.
adapted?
No, because
No,
I
the
think,
original.
No, because I think Licorice Pizza should win best screenplay.
I think that's adapted, though.
No, it's both. It's not adapted. It's original.
Okay.
Were we talking about adapted screenplays?
You're right, they're in the same category.
Anyway, don't look up. Seriously good satire if you really want to find out how the world's going to end. There we go. We just watched a beautiful trailer for the film Drive My Car. Haunting, beautiful, all their critics' reviews love it, and I have no idea what is happening in this film.
But it seems like, he lost his wife, so he's found someone to connect with. This isn't a lover. This isn't someone who's going to be a lover or anything like that. I think he just lost his wife, so he's not going to fall in love immediately. But he's able to love again in another way.
By being a driver?
Well, she's the driver.
Oh.
She's driving his car.
Well, I see it. She is driving in this picture. I see for the trailer. And is she taking him to what?
I don't know. It seemed like there's some tradition that when your wife dies and there's a festival of death, you have a driver that drives you to that festival.
Wow.
Of death.
Really?
I don't know if it's that festival of death.
This sounds like a video game.
It sounds like it would make a great video game. Yeah. Almost as good as the Downton Abbey video game. Which was really exciting.
How do you get 1,000 points on that one?
You have to get one of the cooks to bring you up a chicken.
Okay, the cook, the thief.
A goose.
Okay, the cook, the thief, yeah, exactly, and the goose.
So yeah, it could be great.
The critics all love it. I don't know what happened. The trailer's hypnotic. It's the trailer feels like an art piece by itself.
He looks like he'll get through the whole movie being able to be vapid and empty.
Okay, so
emotionless.
So Disney.
Oh, now we really
Wow.
can't show this.
Can't use that.
You can't use that.
So Disney. It's a real term in
It
Japan.
is. I know it is.
I lived in Japan for 4
lived
months.
in Japan.
That's like that's funny.
I
yeah,
did.
that's
When they say that, they go, "Oh, so Disney." That means like, "Oh wow, man."
Well, I was taught. I wasn't. I many years ago had gotten a job at Universal Studios in Osaka, Japan. I didn't take the job, but I had to learn a bunch of Japanese sayings because we were supposed to improvise with people online.
Wow. I'm sorry you didn't do that. We actually went to Disney
in Osaka
because
when she says "we," by the way, she means her family before she was married.
Yeah,
me and my mom.
Yeah,
my mom took me. So we went there because when you're in Japan, people ask for our autographs because we were white.
Yeah,
because they'd never met white people. We thought it was because my mom was in the show. It's so rare. So when you see another actor who's American, then you just kind of bond because the culture in Japan is the absolute opposite of the United States. And you could tell who the dancers were that were American. They were completely covered, like spiders. You could tell who the Americans were and you could tell who the Japanese were because the Japanese were like perfect form. But there was some kind of vibrancy that came from the dancers in America. And when my mom was in rehearsals for the show, they were so learned. Like, it took so many meetings to get a key changed. And my mother was like an improv.
Right.
Flexible, work on your feet. And the Japanese didn't know.
They're a disciplined culture.
Very, very. So I kind of like going to another planet through their film, which I feel like we're being invited to here. It doesn't completely make sense to me. I'm not convinced it'll make sense after I see it. but it's beautiful.
Yeah, well,
Exquisite.
exquisite. Well, I want to see it after this film because the trailer felt like some sort of music video,
Sure,
like
yeah.
a
I'll see it.
meditation on life. Right through the car.
I was hypnotized.
I think that, a movie like this is getting nominated because a movie like Parasite did so well.
Yes, no, absolutely. It's nominated for Best Picture. I literally only heard about it today.
I don't know anything about it, just heard about it today, too.
Why do you think that, though?
I bet it wins Best Foreign Film.
Why do you think I'm just hearing about it today?
No, but... yeah, why are you...
Maybe I don't read enough?
No, but why do you think that this would be a winner because of Parasite, which is another country and another genre
Because
of film?
because Americans are dumb and see all Asians as the same. Truthfully.
But
Yeah.
who's voting in this? Who's really... But it's not
It's
like...
Americans,
Oh, wow.
mostly.
No, they're SAG-AFTRA people.
Yeah, mostly Americans.
Who's really voting? Oh, we're talking about the shadowy Oscar committee? Oh, that's another podcast.
No, but it's the Academy of Arts and Sciences, so
Yeah.
it's all those people. And
Can I just say that being raised by actors and now marrying a SAG-AFTRA actor, like when the Oscar movies come in for the SAG union, it's like
it's the greatest
it's
gift.
like Christmas. It's
Yeah.
like the best.
So you should have actually seen all of these. There's no reason to.
That's
they
right.
did not send me the DVD of Drive My Car.
No, they send you the link. They
No, they didn't. They did not.
Because they don't do it with all the movies.
No, they don't do it with all the movies.
They don't do it with all the movies.
But they
don't.
should do it with all the best
My
pictures.
dad gets more
They
than
should.
Joshua does, and I don't know why.
Oh,
but wait,
your
wait.
dad was on the nominating committee.
Drive My Car was probably not nominated at the Screen Actors Guild Awards. And that's why that's what
right.
you're getting your
Right, this is
DVDs
the Screen
based
Actors
on.
Guild. These are Oscar awards we're talking about.
Yeah, so that's what it's
Yeah.
based.
Okay, well, I think that's it for this one.
Sure, yeah. King Richard.
King Richard's next. So, DB, we just watched King Richard. It is not, as some of us had previously thought about the play King Richard. It's about Richard Williams, the daughter of Venus and Serena Williams. And it features Will Smith doing his best weird accent ever. What did you think?
I think it looks really good. I haven't seen it yet. I do look forward to seeing it. I think it looks powerful and will probably be the movie that wins. And I think Will Smith will probably win the Oscar this year because Denzel has already won. And I don't think any of the other guys up make sense.
Really? Denzel already... You mean he won previously?
He won twice. So Will Smith hasn't won. Andrew Garfield's too young. Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be nominated another 30 times. And I don't think Javier Bardem can win because I think Nicole Kidman's going to win Best Actress. And I don't think they can give being the Ricardos that much recognition. It's all political. All these votes are usually political reasons.
I think Andrew Garfield has a really good chance.
It's so good. Tick, Tick, Boom is one of the most powerful things I've seen in a long time.
Wow.
And when was the last time that... It was Chicago. It was probably the last time that Hollywood got on top of a musical. And, gave it everything. And that won a lot of awards.
Moulin Rouge.
That was before. I think, wasn't that before? But, sure. They're around the same... They're contemporaries of each other.
Perhaps. So, anyway, Phoebe, what did you think of King Richard, the trailer?
Oh, it's amazing. This is going to be incredible. It's a true story. It's like the new Rudy, is what I'm seeing.
Sure. That's a cool comparison.
That's what I'm seeing right here. And I think that Will Smith might be up, even though I haven't seen it yet. Javier Bardem, being the Ricardos, I don't even want to see this. And you know why I don't want to see it? Because of Nicole Kidman. I mean, I didn't see it because I heard that she's doing her flat as a board thing with Lucille Ball, who's like one of the most animated comedians in the world. It's clearly miscast. Why would I suffer this?
I don't know, but what did you think of Will Smith and King Richard?
He seems like a completely different person.
I know, just like in Muhammad Ali, that movie. But do you think it was a little bit of wistful thinking, or like he kept saying, "Oh, Venus and Serena are going to shake up this world"? Did you think that was real, or do you think that was just...
Oh, no, it is real. It's no secret that he knew that he did write that thing that he said he wrote before the kids were born about their trajectory, and he made them into something amazing. It is incredible. I'm surprised that it would be made into a movie. I am surprised to see it as a movie, but it looks so good.
And they made this point in the film. How come we've never heard of them? Maybe because we're from Compton, the black neighborhood, and so they were like playing tennis against the white people.
I didn't know that they were from Compton.
I didn't either until this trailer just came out.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Anyway, so universally, we loved King Richard. Even though King Richard was such a strong figure, he overshadowed the wife in this film, who I don't think got a single line of dialogue.
And not in the commercial.
No, not in this trailer, no.
No, they definitely... Yeah, well, I guess he was the driving force. I'm sure they give her some time in the movie. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely about him. It's always about Will Smith.
Yes, it always is.
You ever see him interviewed?
No.
Whenever he's interviewed, he somehow is one of those guys that gets away with being really cocky, and everyone just thinks it's really cute.
Okay. I didn't buy his accent. How about you guys?
Oh, sure. He was standing in a certain way. Like...
Yeah, Will Smith has a weird acting thing when he's not being Will Smith. I mean, I don't think he's very good at going outside of his Will Smithness. This role went outside his Will Smithness and forced him to try to go method.
I don't know if it's his acting or if it's just the Will Smith brand that's so branded in our minds. We just can't go with him when he does another character.
Yeah.
Almost anything. Even I Am Legend, Hancock. Those are essentially the same.
Tom Hanks did it successfully. Okay? He leapt from being, funny and lovable to a serious thespian. And that's how I got into Julia.
But even if you look at him in Castaway, he is able to be funny in Castaway in a lot of moments. Like, I don't really know what my point is, but Tom Hanks...
Right, you're saying Will Smith sort of like feels like he's hiding himself in this role. Like, not being himself at all. His performance felt fake to me. I mean, I like the scenes of the girls playing tennis. Will Smith,
I think he's going to win.
You think he's going Best Actor? Okay, felt a little fake.
He's been nominated for Muhammad Ali.
Yep.
And Something Else.
He's never won.
I love Something Else. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I forgot the other thing, though. It was a great movie.
He was really good at I Am Legend.
Yeah, I Am Legend's a great movie.
He was.
It was the worst movie I ever worked on in my life.
Me too.
Most miserable experience.
Me too.
Oh, wow. You were both working on that film?
Which gives me a great segue. I can finally tell a story on a podcast. Yeah, I was working 5 of the coldest days of my life in I Am Legend at like minus 12 degrees.
I only did one day.
Oh.
I wouldn't do them all, yeah.
There was 1,000 non-union extras down by the Brooklyn waterfront, the Brooklyn Pier.
So cold.
So cold. Almost everybody went home for the day or was hiding in the bathroom, which I was doing in order to not die. And then at one point, Will Smith himself actually came out and he had a microphone and he tapped the microphone and he said, hey, is this thing on? And then all of a sudden he said, yo, the champ is back. And then he went right into Summertime and sang it live for all 1,000 extras right on the spot.
Oh.
And that was a fun moment. And then we went right back to freezing cold and trying to get to the end of the dock, which is where the helicopter exploded. That was the scene that I Am Legend we were working on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think there were a lot of lawsuits because of that.
Oh.
That scene.
Okay. So, King Richard, a lot of powerful tennis scenes. The white versus black thing. The Will Smith versus his acting career thing. You think he's going to win Best Actor. What do you think about this for Best Picture?
I think it'll probably win Best Picture, too.
Phoebe, what do you think about that?
I really don't know. Probably.
I think because of the substance, because of what it's about.
Well, what do you think West Side Story is going to get? Because it was pretty mind-blowing, and it was pretty...
Oh, it was so good.
It's pretty spiritual how...
I wanted to hate it.
I don't know what it's going to win, but I would like it to win everything. Yeah, let's just talk about West Side Story, too. West Side Story, the movie, incredible. Phoebe, we reviewed it on another podcast, but it was Steven Spielberg reinvented himself. The cinematography, the choreography, everything was perfectly timed. It was ballet.
And we saw it on 66th and Broadway, which is
that's like the best theater.
Yeah, and you could I mean, you could feel the emotion. It felt relevant. It felt real.
They're right in the middle of the neighborhood.
And for some reason, not a lot of people saw it. It didn't make a lot of money. I don't know why, but the story felt fresh.
Totally depressing.
It felt fresh.
And
maybe
then he died.
Right.
Who died?
The characters in the film.
No.
Yeah.
No. Stephen Sondheim.
Oh, that's right.
But them too.
He died right before. Yeah, right after the movie.
West Side Story. I don't know what it's going to win, but I would like it to win everything. I probably won't win Best Director. I think Spielberg has done that before.
West Side Story,
West Side
great.
Story.
That girl will probably win Best Supporting Actress, just like Cheetah Rivera did for the same character. So it'll be the first time in Oscar history that two people have won an Oscar for the same character.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I think that's what will happen.
Yeah, okay. It was nominated for Best Director.
Like, they should have added a new song so they could have been nominated for Best Song.
It's nominated for Cinematography and Best Director and Best Picture and Sound and Production Design. There you go. That's the one it's going to win.
Is it nominated for Best Cultural Appropriation?
Ah! No, but maybe it should be. Oh, wow. That would be fun to talk about on another episode. Okay, moving on. All right, Licorice Pizza. We watched the trailer again. Hilarious, stupendous fun with the greatest Tom Waits cameo of all time, I think.
Yeah, it's always good to see Tom Waits is still alive.
Yes, there you go.
Great use of the David Bowie song.
Mm-hmm.
I always like the idea. It's a movie that seems like a bunch of friends are hanging out, like Super 8.
Right, exactly. This is Paul Thomas Anderson, famous for doing The Master, a film I haven't seen, but obviously I should.
It seems different than his other movies in that it seems more based on one story, as opposed to all the other stories. Magnolia's 12 stories, and Crash, which is not him, but that's also a similar...
You're talking a similar vibe? Or... Yeah, I see what you mean.
But if you look at what else is Wes Anderson? He's the
No. This is not Wes Anderson.
Licorice Pizza is Wes Anderson.
No, this is Paul Thomas Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson, different guy. That's right. He's Magnolia. Paul Thomas Anderson is Magnolia.
Yes.
And Boogie Nights.
This is the same guy that did Magnolia and Boogie Nights?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
but even then, story-wise, there's so many stories in Boogie Nights.
Yeah, so many. In this one, even in the trailer, you can feel that like each one of the different actors, like Sean Penn, Tom Waits, Bradley Cooper, each one of them feels like a completely different, like a little short film, like with Bradley Cooper.
You said that while we were watching it.
Yeah, it's like Bradley Cooper is like, you know my girlfriend, and he's like, girlfriend is. And the kid's like, no. He's like, Barbra Streisand. And he's like, Barbra Streisand? He's like, no, Streisand. I mean, it's like some weird thing about it. And then Bradley Cooper comes in, like, in the middle of a car race and, like, throws down two little axe handle kind of things on the ground. He's like a totally psycho character. And then you see Tom Waits as this crazy film director. And as Sean Penn having the time of his life on a motorcycle.
You come away from that preview having absolutely no idea what the movie's about.
No, but it's a lot of fun.
Coming of age, 1970s.
Right, yes.
Maybe if you're really hip, you know that that's the girl from Haim.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Tell us about Haim, Phoebe.
So Haim is a 3-girl band. They're sisters. Their last names are Haim, and they're pretty good, and they're cool, and they're all in this movie playing sisters.
Right, and the female lead in the film is one of the singers in the band.
Okay, it looks like the girl from The Middle. The sitcom The
Malcolm
Middle.
in the Middle?
No, The Middle, which was like different, but
it's like
similar to The Middle.
It's not the...
They're similar to Malcolm in the Middle.
Is that like how 3 guys in a pizza place, just they lost the 3 guys and it just became the pizza place?
Well, no, because that was actually the same show, just changing the title of their show. These are 2 different shows. But we can move on.
Okay. Licorice Pizza. Absolutely stupendous fun. It's nominated for Best Director, Best Picture, and Best Screenplay, which is, I think it will probably win that because that was such a fun run for writing. And it might sweep those 3 awards, frankly. I mean, I consider it a strong contender for Best Picture.
It could. I would think that that's a Best Screenplay movie.
Yeah, for sure.
It seems
100%
like that.
100% agree.
Yeah.
It's totally a screenplay. I think it should win original screenplay. Absolutely.
And you can never have too much Bowie in a movie.
No. No, he's
They were
great.
playing Life on Mars. In the
But we
trailer.
haven't seen Belfast or King Richard, to be fair. But I thought, without knowing any of the people who were associated with it, I thought that it was a really good screenplay. While I was watching it, I said, "This is so well written."
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was the guy from Magnolia, but that makes a lot of sense because it does feel as disconnected, yet somehow connected, as those other films that he did are.
Bradley Cooper's in 2 of the best pictures.
It's a good transition to moving on to talking about Nightmare Alley,
Which we all saw.
directed by Guillermo del Toro.
One of the best.
One of the best there is, the
Visually.
best there was, and the best there
He's
ever will
not
be.
nominated for Best Director, though.
He is not, but that's okay. That was a visually striking film about carnies from what period that was? Was it about the 30s, maybe?
Had to be the 30s.
30s,
yeah. 30s.
And Bradley Cooper is what exactly would you say?
He's a carny mentalist.
Right.
He becomes a mentalist.
Right, he becomes a mentalist.
But it's also film noir.
Yeah, very much film noir.
It's so much that kind of almost like a detective story.
Yeah, and he
I
uses that.
thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was good too.
And then he uses that film noir to take a show on the road. He leaves the carnival, and he either marries or shacks up with one of the girls in the carnival. Does he marry her or just take her with him? Do you remember?
It ends poorly.
Right. He chose poorly the ending. Right. There's a little bit of little bit of the ultra violence in this one.
Yeah, especially toward the end.
Yes.
And everything with the finding the girl
Mm-hmm.
and making the very wealthy guy think that the girl was a ghost and it wasn't a ghost, and then
Yeah, they pull a little bit of the
it's
opposite.
a very confusing storyline.
Yeah, extremely. They pull a little bit of the opposite Harry Houdini thing. Harry Houdini, famously towards the end of his life, was a guy that went around exposing mediums, or basically what Bradley Cooper is trying to become at the end was a guy that was trying to pretend to this rich guy that he could speak to the dead. And so everybody was like trying to hire him to find out the last words from their dad or whatever. So the girl in this film, he dresses up to pretend he's this rich guy's ex-wife or whatever.
There's lots of, and it's a remake.
Yeah.
From something, and I never heard about it before.
No, and we loved it because it totally transports you cinematography-wise. Phoebe, you absolutely went wild over the cinematography.
Oh my goodness, the art direction in the
Sure.
whole film, but from the costuming was beautiful,
Yeah.
the sets, the cinematography. I just thought this was a really choice period piece. It didn't entirely make sense, but what did make sense was that I was creeped out. But what was clear was that he was under some sort of spell. Something, the other mediums were trying to warn him about how dangerous this was, and that it was going to, remember, I forget, what's the name of the actress that?
Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett was in it too. I didn't understand their relationship exactly.
I didn't either. I again, it's a very confusing story. It's confusing like Chinatown. Film noir does that. Film noir can get lost in its story and be like can have a lot to it.
Yeah, it's Nightmare Alley, Jake. I get it.
But I still liked it, and he's one of the best directors.
Yeah.
But if he likes dark, he likes shooting in the dark.
Yeah, it was very... Oh, shooting in the dark. Yeah, I thought you meant the tone of the film was very dark, too.
Tone is dark too, yes.
Yeah,
But
now,
he shot everything in it.
now, Phoebe, you think he was under a spell, which is interesting, because I was thinking this is one of his first films without any kind of supernatural element, but you think it had one.
Absolutely, because the actress, I wasn't talking about Kate Blanchett, I was talking about the other actress.
Right, I had a feeling we weren't mentioning the right one.
What's her name?
I don't know, I forgot. I can't even picture her right now.
The girl from Mamma Mia.
She wasn't one of the leads.
No, this woman, her name is Toni Collette.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, one of the greatest.
Oh, never mind. Sure, Toni Collette. I thought you were talking about the girl that went with Bradley Cooper
Yeah.
to perform the Mentalist.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were
Never
talking
mind.
about.
That's Rooney Mara.
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
okay.
Rooney Mara. Yeah,
Rooney
but Toni.
Mara. No,
Yeah, so Toni Collette at the beginning, she got him into
Toni
this whole
Collette
thing.
was a mentalist.
She was the
and a
wife of the
medium.
Mentalist.
She was a wife, but she was a medium.
Yeah.
And she did his tarot cards, and they were turning out really, really badly. And and they even tried to do an intervention with him, where they came up and warned him. And the plot line was as mysterious and as elusive as the spirit world was. That in the end eventually comes true, because that ending was thoroughly disturbing.
Sure.
I don't think we slept a week that night.
It was really creepy.
Yeah, I was thoroughly creeped out.
I loved it.
A final preview.
Our final preview of the night, guys, is The Power of the Dog, another film that me and Phoebe previously reviewed. We love the film. So Power of the Dog, Benedict Cumberbatch is really chewing up some scenery, and
it looks like an intense character piece.
It is.
Yeah.
Thoroughly. I think that the trailer has a lot more pizzazz to it and speed than the tempo of the frontier that is the film, too. I think it's a really beautiful film. I'm not entirely sure what it's about, but
no, we discussed that
on the road.
We discussed that in our earlier episode with guest Johnny Dowd. You guys can go back and listen to that episode right now.
Didn't he just release something?
Yes, he did. Johnny Dowd has a new album you guys should go out and listen to. And you should also listen to a single off that episode, Rose.
Yeah. It's a good song.
It's a good song. Anyway, TB, Power of the Dog. How did the trailer strike you?
I would love to see it. I watched a couple of scenes with the boy, and
you got bored.
I didn't get bored. I think it was separate. I think it was just, they were just showing one scene from the movie. For some reason, I saw a scene with the boy, and it was... Benedict Cumberbatch is great. Now, it's nice to see that they still let Kirsten Dunst act. Kirsten Dunst. Sorry.
Wow, listen, she can't always be opposite upside-down Spider-Man, okay?
No, and I want to know... There was a whole circle of people that... I think she's very pretty. She's talked about, as if she's very unattractive. I've heard people, consider her... Yeah, I don't know.
Get out of here. I've never heard that in my life. I've heard nothing except that she's beautiful.
I've heard nothing...
What is that noise?
That's a motorcycle.
That's New York City.
That's Broadway.
Yeah, I've heard nothing from her since Spider-Man 3.
That sounds like the noise on Silent Hill when all the ghosts and...
I really miss living on Central Park West. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Slumming it on Broadway, hello.
There's noise everywhere. You can't get away from noise.
So Kirsten Dunst, I haven't really seen her talked about her since Spider-Man 3.
I didn't see one dog in that preview.
There wasn't a dog. Apparently, if you they barely explain it. The dog is like the mountain range, I think, and that's the power of the dog. Anyway, it's very confusing. You can.
Is it like the black dog and Patrick Swayze's The Black Dog, where that's what you see before you get into a trucker accident? You see the black dog.
Well, it's kind of like whatever you think the dog is supposed to be. It has a couple meanings, I think. We're not sure. It's up to your own interpretation. And that's why Jane is such a champion of this film, the film director, who will probably win Best Director for Power of the Dog.
She's an old lady, isn't she? She's been around for a while. I think she's an old lady. And giving Best Director to a woman this year makes sense. Yeah, maybe it'll win Best Movie, too. I just think that Will Smith has so much more of a cachet. Brings in more money than...
he does, but Oscar audiences are very fickle against awarding blockbusters Best Picture, thinking that rightly a blockbuster, i.e. anything that Will Smith is in, should be excluded from the discussion. So Power of the Dog seems to be the favorite for Best Picture. Do you guys see any reason that won't happen?
The only thing is I think maybe King
Richard
could pull it out. But that it seems like I saw something that said this is 90% chance to win.
It's definitely the favorite for sure. Okay, so that's our Best Picture nominees. Let's go through the others real quick. Best Director, we got Paul Thomas Anderson, Licorice Pizza, Kenneth Branagh, Belfast, Jane Campion, Power of the Dog, Ryusuke Campion, thank you. Hamaguchi, Drive My Car, and Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. Who's going to win Best Director?
I'll go with Jane Campion,
apparently.
Guys, if we're going to talk about the Best Director and Best picture. We gotta get their name right.
Let's.
She's right.
Well, I just. I was calling her a champion.
Started over.
No.
You're calling her. You were not calling her a champion.
Sure, you can call her a champion.
I definitely did.
I can. No, he did. He did. I'm gonna call her a champion for female film directors. All right, we're wrapping up right now, guys. Thanks for coming to the first ever Joshua and Phoebe Oscars movie watch party.
It's awesome. Really happy to be here. This was a lot of fun to chat about these previews.
Yes.
We should do this every year.
We should do it every year.
We should do it every year, and we could make a ton of money if we get a whole bunch of other movie buffs in here, and then we can bet on the Oscars.
I
right.
like betting on the Oscars.
Man,
Yeah, so
is that a thing?
Yes.
Did people do that?
Those are real Oscar parties.
Oh.
But I really wish we were able to have this year.
Great. Well, let's do a podcast about that too.
And let's do a podcast about that.
Yes, let's do it. I mean, why not? There's no limit on what you could talk about.
We should do a podcast about this episode. We should listen to this episode and talk about it.
Well, overall, it looks like a really exciting Oscar year.
It does.
Yeah.
I think there's so many killer movies,
Mm-hmm.
so many good choices. Nothing feels insincere.
There's no superhero movies on there.
That's right. I was about to say, what was left off? Spider-Man 3 left off. No, the new Spider-Man, not Spider-Man.
Not even for visual effects.
Not even, yeah. Is there anything...
Even The Eyes of Tammy Faye came out. Oh, no, we have to...
The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Amazing.
Anyway, you guys should also watch The Eyes of Tammy Faye, which was nominated for not Best Picture,
Best
but
hairstyling.
Best Actress in a Leading Role. Anyway, it's great.
Best use of a telephone in a scene.
All right. Any other films that you thought were snubbed for the Oscars, DP?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have anything in mind that I think should have been there. Mm-hmm. This wasn't a big movie year for me to watch movies. I just haven't been as steadfast into getting to see everything that I want to in the way that I used to.
Is it because there's too much good television out there?
I think there's too many options.
Yeah.
And you can only spend so much time watching media.
Uh-huh.
And there's a lot of it out there.
I know.
And I just want to be able to be part of the conversation. Right?
I know. That's what we do on this podcast, right, Phoebe?
Right.
Yes.
You have to say right, because it's radio.
Yes. That's right. We got to agree, which is part of the whole deal. Anyway.
It's part of the whole marriage deal. We have to agree.
Yeah.
No breaks.
we gotta agree, and we agree that we gave you guys the best podcast possible. So thanks so much for sticking around. Right, yes, ever. The best podcast ever. We pulled it out, and this is going to be fun to listen to later. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.